Okay, stupid word. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Dr. Tochi here. Hello. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I am. Hello, Miss LaShawn. Did you get my email? No, it's an old one. I just washed and conditioned it and then restyled it. Remember, we're going into 2026, running our lives like a profitable business. Okay, you got it. Okay. Yeah. So remember, we're going to be running our lives like profitable businesses in 2026. I actually took a gamble with this color, because I wasn't sure if it would go with my skin tone. But I was like, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I think I like it. I mean, I probably still need to work it a little bit, but I, I still need to. Well, thank you very much, Elder Light. Yeah, I still need to work it a bit, like do all the glue things and the whatnot things. But what I did was I was like, you know what? Let me see how to work this. Okay. Hello, Auntie Mazuba. Sending out reach anti vibes, right? Yeah, all I need to do now is like to put on some gold and then yeah, put on some gold jewelry and then we'll be good to go. Okay. Sweet mommy, did you get my email? Well, thank you, Miss LaShawn. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Tochi, aka Papa Dr. Tochi, mama of the men's and the women's. And if you need to get a hold of me, I'm always found at my website at drtochi.com, tochi.us, where you can book me for your consultations. Okay. Okay. All right. Quick plug, quick reminder, we have the spiritual reset retreat coming up on the 28th of December. If you go to my website, go to the events page, you can read all about it. Okay. Um, hello, Stephanie. And so a lot of what we're teaching in our free classes, we're going to be practicalizing in the workshop or in the retreat. And the retreat is for 7 days, 2 hours each day. Thank you. Today is a Sunday. I was born on a Sunday. So I'm like, let's slay on a Sunday. Okay. The other yeah, so we have that retreat coming up, and then we have another one coming up. We actually have two additional retreats in January. I will encourage you to go to my events page and look it up. Reclaim your authority. Okay. If you want to start doing the spiritual work around embodying your inner authority, that's what we're going to be doing in those two workshops in January. One is level one, and the other one is level two. You have to have done level one before you can go to level two. Okay. We want to start practicalizing all the stuff that we're talking about here. Remember yesterday we were talking about um, meaningless spiritual jargon and people telling you that, yes, you need to start changing your frequency. We're going beyond that. You know, we're beyond that now. We're not doing it those things, you know. So we will leave that for the people who are still being introduced to spirituality, people who don't know what spirituality is, and people who are performing spirituality. We'll leave all of that for them. Right now we're going into the practice of the real deal. Hello, Leonard. And hello to the fine people of TikTok. Hello, Divine Suki. Hello, Self New Touch. Okay, so today we're going to learn about the sixth obstacle to your spiritual practice, or the sixth obstacle that emerges when you do not answer your spiritual call. Okay, we're going to learn about that. I don't know, does this go with this? I think it does. What do you think? This goes with this. I think it does. I'm gonna put it here. Right. I think it does. Okay. So we are going to talk about that. I don't think I'll do, like, this is a high neck, so probably because I don't want, yeah. Believe it or not, we're at like what, 80 degrees. The rest of the country is freezing. The rest of the country has snow. We are like at 80 degrees. So we sweating over here. We're perspiring over here. Okay. So let me put on these earrings. I'll put on these ones, right? I think these ones will go well. What do you think? Like little beetles. Let me see if the camera can focus on it. They're like little beetles. See it? Oh, I'll show you the back of it. They're like little beetles. They're cute. I've had these for a while. I think they're cute. So we'll wear these. Okay. Remember to like the live stream, to give it a like. That lets a algorithm inform other people that class has started. And if you're on TikTok, I would appreciate some likes so that the platform will let folks know that class has started. Thank you, Divine Suki. Thank you, Auntie Mizuba. It's hot. It's hot out here. It's hot out here. It's hot. But hey, I'm not complaining. Few days to Christmas and it's warm and I can wear shorts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's get into today's class. So, one of the obstacles that we experience, okay, um, one of the obstacles that we might experience when we don't answer our spiritual call is silence. Okay, so we're praying, we're fasting, we're cleansing, we're making ritual offerings, we're doing all the things that we have been told to do, and we're doing all the things that we know to do, and there doesn't seem to be a response. Thank you, Babdi. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Thank you. And so there's silence. And there are some people who will actually start experiencing the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is when nothing works. And you know how they say it's like the heavens are like brass above you. It's like you're praying and the prayers are going nowhere. And you're praying to your creator, no answer. You're praying to your spirit guides, no answer. You're praying to your deities, your gods, your goddesses, whomever, whatever you believe in, and there's simply no answer. Okay. And I do have an old class on Dark Night of the Soul. If you are so inclined and want to learn more about it, I will encourage you to go catch that video replay on my YouTube channel, Dark Night of the Soul. And people react to Dark Night of the Souls in a number of ways. There are some people who will go through that and be totally broken and they lose hope and they will just give up and start indulging in addictions. There are some people who experience the dark night of the soul and they self terminate, they exit the planet. There are some people who experience the dark night of the soul and they persist, they endure, and they come through it with flying colors. And you see them, they start shining and glowing and thriving and they get like promoted to higher levels of existence, and you see them, they start thriving. There are some people who experience multiple dark nights of the soul. When I went through the dark night of the soul, I went through it back to back to back to back to back. I would come out of it, get a little breathing space, and I'm saying, okay, things are getting good for me. Everything will crash. I would work my way through that again, cry, feel sorry for myself. I don't know how many times in my past I asked God to take me, just take me. I would be like, God, just take me. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. No one is helping me. No one is rescuing me. No one is listening to me. I feel like the most hated person on the planet. Just come take me. There were times I would go to bed at night and I would just pray, please, I don't want to wake up. I just need to from there. And lo and behold, I would wake up in the morning and I would wake up the next morning hungry. I would wake up the next morning hungry. Okay. So I can't tell you how many times I went through that cycle when I was younger. I would just say, I don't want to wake up. And I would wake up the next day, and not only would I wake up, I would wake up hungry and I would wake up stronger. And I would feel this energy surging, powering through my body. But before I went to sleep, I was feeling weak and despondent and discouraged. And, I'm just like, I've had enough. I need out of here. I'd wake up hungry. And then I'd go start looking for food to eat. As you could tell, I have a very good relationship with food. Okay. I am not allergic to food, and food is not allergic to me, as you could tell. You could look at me, you could tell. Okay. So, anywho, just a little bit of humor around that. And people wonder, why is it that if I ignore my spiritual call, I'm getting all this silence and I'm asking for help? Shouldn't that be the time when I should be getting more help? And that's a legitimate question. Shouldn't I be getting more help? And that's a legitimate spiritual question. I'm going through difficulties, I'm suffering. Why is there silence? And the reason why there's silence is because what you needed to hear has already been said to you. What you needed to hear, the message has already been delivered. And at this point, you need to be taking certain action. And many of us, when we're in that state, we're like, but I don't know what action to take. And I wish that when I was going through my own dark night of the soul, and when I was, confronted with that silence, I wish I had somebody who said to me, okay, step one, this is what's happening. Step two, this is what's going on. Step three, this is what you do. Step four, this is what next you need to do. Step five. So, but I didn't have anyone to guide me through that. So there was a lot of trial and error. Please remember to like and share the class. Please remember to like and share the class. That lets the platform inform more people that we're in session. So, and remember when I was going through my own dark night of the soul, there was no internet. So it wasn't like I could go online and look up other people's experiences. And it wasn't like there was social media where you could go and maybe catch videos or motivational posts and things of that nature. There was no internet. So if you did not belong to a church, for instance, or a mosque where they had motivational sermons, or if you didn't belong to a group or network of people who were upbeat and shared motivational message, okay, you would pretty much be by yourself trying to figure out what was going on with you. Okay. Now with the availability of the internet and social media, it's so much easier. Because all you have to do is go into TikTok and you write Dark Night of the Soul or Why My Spirit Guides Silent or, Why My Prayer is Not Being Answered. And you will be overwhelmed with information. There'll be all kinds of information. There'll be all kinds of information available to you. Okay. But when but when let me close this other window here. Okay. But when you're in a situation you don't have access to that, it could be a very difficult place to be. Now you could go online and you could ask the question, why am I suffering through the dark night of the soul? Why are my spirit guides silent? Why is God silent? Why is God not answering me? Why are my guardian angels not answering me? Why? And you will see someone else would have made a video about that. And you can listen to that and gain some inspiration. And you'd be like, oh, okay. And maybe if the person is good with the content they created, um, the person the person might give some pointers as to what to do about it. TikTok folks, let me go ahead and put this. I want to mic my phone. Okay, hold on. I want to mic my phone. Mhm. I hope I hope it's working the way it's supposed to work. It's like I have it on the stand, and then the stand is not letting me plug in something else into it. Because I'm noticing I'm having a lot of background noise here. So hold on. I'll just do it this way. Let's see if it works like this. Okay. All right. So let's see if this works. So if you are on TikTok, let me know if you can hear me better. If you're on TikTok, can you let me know if you hear me better? Okay. What people don't tell you when you're undergoing this silence is one, that the message has already been delivered, and two, you need to start reviewing all the possible ways that that message was delivered. Divine Suki, can you hear me? I will make sure because I just mic'd my device over here, so I'm not sure if folks can hear me. So please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you very much. So there are many people who go through that and they don't have somebody to tell them, hey, what was the last dream that you had? What are the dreams that have been repeating for you? Um, were there some people who came and said certain things to you? Were there some people who delivered mysterious messages to you? So uh, it's a blessing if there's someone around you to prompt you that way and say, these are the ways that you need to be paying attention to what the information you need to do what you need to do. When I was going through my dark night of the soul, I was very isolated. And people who were around me at the time, those who were spiritual were also going through their own drama. Some of them were using arcane language that I didn't understand or didn't mean anything. You know, like when you're telling somebody you have problems and the person is like saying to you, just elevate your consciousness to the point where your problems become meaningless. And you're sitting there saying, what the hell does that mean? What does it mean I should elevate my consciousness to the point where my problems become irrelevant? What on earth does that even mean? And then when you press the person for an answer, the person will say, meditate on it, because the answer is within you. It will emerge. And you don't realize that the person themselves have no idea what they're saying. And that's the reason why they're telling you that vague thing that you should go and meditate until the answer emerges from within you. But I am a firm believer in the saying, when an animal has an itch on its back, it will go to a tree and scratch itself. But when a human being has an itch on the back, that human being will go to another human being and say, please scratch my back for me. Do you understand the meaning of that saying? If you understand the meaning of that saying, let me know in the comment section. When an animal has an itch, it will go to a tree to scratch that itch. But when a human being has an itch, the human being will go to another human being to scratch that itch for him or her. It is very difficult to develop yourself spiritually by yourself being isolated. Correct, Divine Suke, you're correct. The animal can take care of itself as opposed to human beings, we rely on each other. Okay? YM says, like the saying, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. No, that's not the meaning of it. The meaning is not you scratch my back, I scratch yours. No, that's not the meaning. You scratch my back, I scratch yours means something else. That means reciprocity, but that's not the meaning of it. Divine Suke got it right. And let me repeat what she wrote here. The animal can take care of itself as opposed to humans. We rely on each other. So, this is the reason why it is very difficult to have um, an effective spiritual practice alone. And this is the reason why many of us go to church and we go to the mosque and we go to the temple because we can't figure out things by ourselves. We want to be around other people. We want someone to help explain things to us. You're welcome. Okay. Does this mean that most human beings are codependent and need to work on being whole? No. It means that human beings were built for companionship and need the help of other people. That's all it means. It has nothing to do with codependency. It has to do with companionship. Yeah, we need each other. You're right. We need each other. It doesn't mean that we're codependent in the sense that, you're doing your thing and I'm enabling you and I can't function without you. And me and you are out here just foodling around and we're not moving ahead. Mm-mm. We need other human beings to move forward, materially speaking, financially speaking, spiritually speaking. That is why relationships are a great field for learning. Relationships provide a great field for learning. You learn a lot, you gain a lot of experience by having relationships with other people. There are people who will say to you, "Oh, I'm so proud I live by myself. I am proud I don't need anybody. I am proud that I have no friends." And they don't know that that's a curse. And the reason why it's a curse is because we were designed for companionship. So even if people have hurt you in the past, even if you dislike people, you were not designed to be alone. That's not the design. That's why you had to be born of a person. Somebody had to take care of you. Somebody had to feed you and help you grow. Now, they may have not done a good job of it, but they played some kind of role so that you're here today listening to this class. You needed a human being to get you to the point where you are in class with us right now. If you were born and just left out there, nobody was feeding you, nobody clothing you, no one sheltering you, you would not be listening to this class right now. Okay. So when we're going through our spiritual experiences, it can be very difficult if you don't have someone in your corner that you can talk to or who can help explain things to you. And this is one of the reasons why people will start on the path of spirituality and they will fall off because they're practicing their spirituality. They feel very lonely. They have nobody they can talk it over with. And they're like, you know what? I am suffering. This is hard. I'm just going to go back to church. At least in the church, I have friends, I have family, I get to dress up, we'll shout and scream and holler and sing and do all kinds of things. And I have these activities that I can do that make me feel that I'm a part of something. And yeah, you feel that way because that's how you're designed. You're designed for companionship. We're not designed to be alone. Okay. So that's why it makes it so difficult that when you're going through spiritual silence, you can get very irritated and frustrated. You can get angry, resentful, anxious, fearful, because it's like, I don't know what to do. No one is explaining anything to me. I'm trying to get some guidance here, but I'm not hearing anything. I'm not getting any message. Everywhere is silent. But when you have been called to spiritual practice, and remember, we're just talking about this condition when you've been called to spiritual practice. It can also happen for some other conditions, but today we're just talking about when you've been called to spiritual practice. If you are saying these prayers, petitions, you're making offerings, you're doing rituals, you're doing fasting, cleansing, all these things in their silence, I want you to stop and say to yourself, is it possible that the message was already delivered, but I have not paid attention? Because there's sometimes you have been already told what to do, but you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Or it's too difficult for me to do. Or I am not sure this is what I'm supposed to do. Like in consultation, I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people who said, I already knew what to do. I already understood the message. I already knew that I was supposed to do XYZ, but I was still in my religious mind. And my religious mind said, no, don't do it. It's demonic. Don't do it as devilish. Don't do it as Satan. Don't do it. And then you'll see the person having all these second thoughts. And these second thoughts are religious thoughts. What will happen if my pastor finds out? What will happen if my imam finds out? What will happen if my mufti finds out? What will happen if my afa finds out? What will happen if my mom finds out? What will happen if my dad finds out? But the message has already been delivered, and it was delivered to you. The message was delivered to you, not to your mother, not to your father, not to your pastor, not to your mufti, not to your imam, not to your baba, not to your iya. It was delivered to you. That message was delivered to you. Do this. And so when you've been called to spiritual practice, the message is answer the call to spiritual practice. And most of us will sit and argue. How can I answer the call to spiritual practice? I have an office job. I have a corporate job. I am a socialite. I am running a business. Everybody knows me for this thing. Everybody knows I run this kind of business, and we're so concerned about whatever it is that we have going on that we're not calming down to think if what we have going on is solving our problem, why are we here? And there are some people who are like that. They have businesses, they're making money and all kinds of things, but they have no peace of mind. No peace of mind. They can't sleep at night. When they lie down, their cortisol goes up and their mind is like a hamster wheel going round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And they can't stop it. And somebody outside looking at them saying, "Oh, I wish I had their kind of money." But that person cannot sleep like you. You, when you go to bed, you can sleep, but that person cannot sleep. I remember there was a gentleman, we attended a Christmas party in his house some years ago, and it was service club. I'm a Rotarian, so it was a Rotary Christmas party. It was in somebody's home, and this person was quite wealthy. And I remember going into this person's home, and there was a bunch of people already up in there. And I remember going into this person's home, and the person was looking at me, with suspicion. And I could almost read this person's energy. How did she get here? Who invited her? I was invited because if I wasn't invited, I wouldn't have the address. But the owner of the home was there. There were other people, and the other people were like, "Hey, hey, hey, Dr. Tochi, hey," and doing all these introductions and everything. And I could feel the coldness from the owner of the house. The owner of the house was very cold. The energy was very cold. And so, based on the energy awareness, I chose not to eat. I didn't eat anything at that Christmas party. Because I was like, this person doesn't want me here. I'm here now, but this person doesn't want me in their home. So I sat down and chatted with people. They're like, yeah, get yourself a drink. I'm like, no, 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 no. I already had something to eat. I already had something to drink. And this person, and it was a big house. They had all kinds of spaces in this house, different kinds of spaces, you know. And so the person would go to this space, talk with this group, go to the other space, talk with the other group, and come back and look at me. And they never said anything else to me except the hello. When I came in and said hello, they said hello. That was all they said. They never um welcomed me. They didn't say, hey, go get a drink, go fix a plate. They didn't even ask me, what's your name? Who are you? It was just a lot of coldness from this person. So I was like, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to drink here. I'm just going to socialize for 20 minutes or less and leave. And at some point, they wanted to take a group photo, and they were like, hey, everybody come together to take a group photo. And I used that opportunity to disappear, escape. So while they were there taking a group photo, I just left. A couple of weeks later, that person had transitioned. They pew-pewed themselves, and it was over, according to the story, allegedly, there was some infidelity going on in their household, so this person pew-pewed themselves. They couldn't take the infidelity, they couldn't take the scope of the infidelity, and they pew-pewed themselves. This person was extremely wealthy. This person was multi-millionaire, but they couldn't take it. And being a spiritual practitioner, I mean, there were just so many stories. I mean, there were so many signals in that situation that not eating and not drinking in that person's house was just the best thing for me to do. And I remember attending a Rotary meeting after that, and people were just telling the story. Oh, can you believe that this person pew-pewed themselves? And this is what was going on. And now they're in court fighting over, the families in court, and they're fighting over this person's stuff. So why am I telling you this story? You could be looking at somebody and you have no idea what's going on with them. All you know is your impression of them, but you do not know what's going on with them. If this person had known that I was a spiritual practitioner, I'm assuming they didn't know. Could they have come to me for spiritual counseling? Could they have come to me and unburdened their heart? Could they have sat down with me? Could we have done a divination, for example, to help them understand what they were supposed to do? Maybe, I don't know. But remember what I said at the beginning of this class. There are three kinds of outcomes for people who go through the dark night of the soul. Some pew pew themselves, exit themselves. Some people break down, give up, and fall into addiction or sickness. And some people come through it stronger. Your job is to come through yours stronger. Your job is to come through your periods of silence stronger. So if you're doing all your spiritual practices, all your religious practices, all the things that you're doing, and there seems to be silence, stop everything. Stop everything and ask yourself, is there a message I have missed? Stop everything. Is there a message I have missed? Is there a dream I have not yet understood or interpreted? Is there a message I have not yet understood or implemented? Is there something I have been told to do that I have not yet done? And when it comes to the spiritual call, there are people who will keep putting it off. Oh, I need time off of work. I don't have money. I don't have time. I don't have privacy. I'm not feeling like it right now. And then the problems start. And then the person comes and says, well, I need you to do something for me, do something for me. There's nothing that can be done for you until you do what you have been asked to do. You should do what you were asked to do. It's not rocket science because you could, you know, some classic cases, okay, there are some classic cases where the person will come for a divination, and the divination says, you are called to spiritual practice. Answer the call. Okay. And the person is like, right now, I'm busy at work or I don't have any money or it's not convenient for me. I'm not living by myself and they have all these things that they say. And then the person will come back later on. Okay. The person comes back again and says, oh, I need a divination. And you ask the person, what's a divination for? Oh, I just need a divination to know what I'm going to do. Nothing is going right for me. Nothing is working. Okay. And then you ask the person, did you do what you were told to do during your last divination? And the person says no. And you say to the person, why don't you just go ahead and do what you were asked to do and then we'll take it from there? The person's like, well, can you just do, I need some, a divination done to tell me some other things I can do now, and I will do what I was told to do later on. Or, okay, I know I've been called to spiritual practice, but now is not a good time. Can we do a ritual or can we do a spiritual work? Can we do a spell? Can we do a prayer? Can we do whatever it is? I want to get some money. I want to get this. I want to fix this. I want to fix that. I will deal with the spiritual call later. And you tell the person it's going to be a waste of time, and the person gets upset. Why don't you want to help me? Why don't you want to help me? And an experienced spiritual practitioner knows that even if you say, let me do a ritual for this person or spell, or let me do some spiritual work for them or whatever, you as a spiritual practitioner, you're wasting your time because obedience is required of that person. And as long as the person is not obedient, nothing will work. And even you, as a spiritual practitioner, if you are not careful, you could end up paying a price. There could be some consequence for you enabling the person to be disobedient. Because if you did a divination and you found out that this person was called to spiritual practice and the person has been told, the person has been informed that they're called to spiritual practice, but the person is willfully ignoring that. And the person is saying, it is inconvenient for me to deal with that right now. I want you to do something magical for me so that I will answer the call when it is convenient for me. You too, as a practitioner, trying to enable that level of foolishness might also end up paying a price for it. And there's some spiritual practitioners who would say, oh, the person is willing to pay me money. They're going to pay me $100. And then you go ahead and for the sake of $100, you put yourself in trouble. Because for some people, $100 is a lot of money. Oh, yeah, okay, they're gonna give me $100. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick thing for them here, do a quick offering, do a quick ritual, do a quick prayer. But you know that that person was asked to answer the call, and the person is delaying, denying, wasting time. And they're thinking, oh, there are all these other things I can do. I can do all these other things except answer the call. And I want you to help me do all these other things except answer the call. If you enable that, be prepared to suffer the consequences of that as a spiritual practitioner. You need to decide. El Royale, I listened to your video on answering the spiritual call. Good, fantastic. You as a spiritual practitioner, you need to decide if $100 is worth taking a spiritual hit for. And for me, it's not worth it. And I'm using $100 as an example. Maybe you're charging $50 or $200 or $1,000, whoever charges what they charge. If you are a spiritual practitioner and your client, your customer, your student comes to you and they are aware that they have been called to spiritual practice and they are not answering the call and they're asking you to do other things to help them circumvent that call, my sincere advice to you is do not do it. Do not do it. You don't want to mess with spirit. You do not want to piss off that person's spiritual crew because that person's spiritual crew will come after you. The person must accept that spiritual call. That's the solution. If you go now, let me backtrack a bit. There are some spiritual practitioners who may determine what should I do to answer the spiritual call? That's what we're discussing. El Royal, listen to the class. That's what we're discussing. That's what we're discussing. Now, there are some spiritual practitioners who know that a person has been called to spiritual practice. Maybe they've done a divination and they've confirmed that this person was called to spiritual practice. And they can see that the person is arguing and the person is saying, but I want you to do something for me so my business can go well. I want you to do this for me so that my job can go well. I want you to do this for me so my marriage can go well, or I can get a relationship, or I want you to, and they're having that spiritual practitioner do all these other things. Oh, people in my family are attacking me. Can you do something to keep them to stop them from attacking me? Can you do this to stop this? And they are engaging the spiritual practitioner to stop the signs. There are some spiritual practitioners who will say, okay, you already know what you're supposed to do, but you choose not to do it. Let the games begin. And so they will take money from you. And you say, oh, yeah, I know I've been called to spiritual practice, but my business is not going well. And the spiritual practitioner knows that even if they went to petition on your behalf, even God will remain silent to them. Even the creator will remain silent. All the spirit guides, everything involved will remain silent. They know, but they will still take the money because it's easy money. And they will do one or two things and say to you, go forth in peace, all is well. A lot of people in church do that. There are some pastors, prophets, prophetesses, evangelists, muftis, imams. They know you have been called to spiritual practice. They know. And they also know that you are being obstinate, that you are being disobedient, and that you don't want to do it. You want to do things your way. They will take money from you. Okay. You want us to do something for your business? They will take money from you and they will do prayers. They will do all kinds of things. But you will not see results from that work. And even that spiritual practitioner will lie to you. You will ask that practitioner, what did my spirit guide say? They say, oh, your spirit guide said all is well. They said your offering is accepted. They say your prayers will be answered. They have heard your petitions. Everything will be well. Give it 1 month. And they know darn well that they didn't hear anything. But it's easy money because they know you are disobedient, you're obstinate. And even if they told you go answer the call, you are still going to argue with them. So they're like, okay, there's no point arguing with this person. I'm just going to take their money. I'm just going to take their money. So when there is silence to your prayers and your petitions, and there's silence to your offerings, and silence to your fasting, and all the spiritual and religious work you're doing, go and find out, go and confirm that you have a spiritual call in your life. You may have some other problem going on. Okay. You may have some other spiritual problem going on that is resulting in silence. And I have video classes on my YouTube channel about that. Like one of the classes is what if your spiritual crew turns its back on you? That is a very terrible situation for anybody to be in. And there are some people, they're not called to spiritual practice, but their spiritual crew has turned their back on them. And it doesn't matter what prayers they make, what petitions they make, what offerings they make, none will be accepted, none will be heard. And I have a video, I think I did that video 2, 3 years ago. It's on my YouTube channel. Just look at it. I think it should be under the Spiritual Crew playlist, if I'm not mistaken. Go look it up in my YouTube, Dr. Tochi YouTube channel. Because there are some people because of other things going on with them. It doesn't matter what they say or do, there's not going to be any answer. There's not going to be any response. There's not going to be any help. So you want to be sure, first of all, the reason for that. Go get a divination. Go get a spiritual consultation with a spiritual practitioner. Let them, and you can go to 2 or 3 people to confirm. Go to 2 or 3 people. There's sometimes people will come to me and they will say, yes, somebody already told me that I have a spiritual call in my life. And my question to them is, okay, so somebody else told you, why are you here? Oh, well, I'm experiencing stagnation in my life. I'm experiencing this problem. I'm experiencing that problem. Are you surprised? Because people sometimes think, if I ignore this thing long enough, it will go away. No, it's not going to go away. And the reason why it doesn't go away is because if you were called to spiritual practice, that is your life destiny. You cannot escape it. You're here to serve others with your spiritual knowledge and your spiritual gifts. And it doesn't matter what your job is, it doesn't matter what your business is, it doesn't matter what your status is. A portion of your time must be devoted to helping others with your spiritual knowledge and your spiritual gifts. So you could be a top executive, you could be a big business person, you could be a scholar, you could be a teacher, you could be whatever, you could be a stay-at-home parent. But there's a portion of your day must be devoted to using your spiritual knowledge and gifts to help other people. If you don't do it, nothing else will go well for you. Nothing else will go well. And you see these 8 obstacles we have been discussing now for how many weeks now? This is the 6th week. You will experience these things in your life. And for those of you who are joining us and don't know, I have been teaching every Sunday. This is the 6th Sunday. I have been teaching on each of the obstacles that you will experience if you don't answer your spiritual call. Okay. I've been teaching on the obstacles. So today is the 6th. We'll have 2 more to go before I now change topic. So, what questions do you have about this topic? Start doing your due diligence, start doing your research. Who can I go to get a divination from? Who can I go to? Who can help me determine if truly I have a spiritual call on my life? And if I have a spiritual call on my life, what kind of call it is? And how do I start? There are different types of spiritual calls that people have on their lives. Sometimes people will come and say, okay, um, I was told I have a spiritual call, but I want to serve in the church. Can I go and serve in the church? Is that what your spiritual call is for? Is your spiritual call for you to go and serve it in the church or serve it in the mosque? Some people's spiritual call is ancestral. For some people, they come from very powerful lineages. And if you have your call that comes through your lineage, and you're like, oh, well, let me go and join this church and serve over there. Let me join that mosque and serve over there. You will be used like a donkey. Oh, a bad day. That will be you, Dr. Tochi. I'm not the only one out here, but thank you for the vote of confidence. If you come from a powerful lineage of spiritual practitioners, and you're like, no, I'm going to go to my church, I'm going to go to my mosque and do my thing, you will be used like a donkey. People have this feeling that, oh, if I have a spiritual gift, I have to exercise it only within the confines of a church. Says who? If, for instance, you were called to heal, is the church the only place where you can find healers? Are there no healers in the hospital? Are there no healers in traditional healing homes? Are there no people who heal from home? And while you're going and working for free in the church is making profit off of you. Have you asked yourself, am I supposed to be doing this in the church or am I supposed to be doing it by myself? And there are a lot of you who are supposed to be doing this by yourself because you are more powerful than the church. You are more powerful than the leaders of that church you go to. But when you go to that church and subject your power, you have a greater power and you subject your power to a lower power, you become dispossessed. Mhm. You're right. You will go there and get dispossessed. There are so many people who are out here with so much spiritual power, but they're like, no, I need to go find someone. I need to serve under somebody's mantle. Are you supposed to be serving under their mantle or they are supposed to be serving under your mantle? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that, okay, I'm submitting myself under their mantle? When I go there, I'm subject to jealousy, envy, attacks, hatred. And the more I do good, the worse it becomes. Have you ever asked yourself, the more good I'm doing, the more I'm helping out here, the more I'm being attacked? We addressed this, I think, in the first or second class about people. In this series, I think it was either the first or second obstacle, we talked about this. The more good you do, the more you're attacked. That's a sign that you're casting your pearls before swine and you're offering your gifts where they're not wanted. And many of us need to learn how to stop doing that, offering our gifts where they're not wanted. You cannot force people to accept your gift. You cannot force people to honor your gift. And you cannot force people to celebrate you and celebrate your gift. Remember the injunction, if you go to a city and they don't receive you, shake the dust off your feet and leave, go somewhere else. But many of us don't Oh no, I will let they must see my glory. They must acknowledge my gift. They must turn around. All those people attack me, they will love me, and you're there doing the work that nobody asked you to do. When you are helping people and they're attacking you, that is a sign that you are helping the wrong people. I repeat, if you're helping people out of the goodness of your heart, and I'm not talking about helping people so that people will praise you or helping people in a performative way so that everybody will see you, because there are some people who will help just for public accolades. There are some people who will help you only if other people are watching. We're not talking about that. I'm saying if you help people and you notice a pattern, you've been helping people, and after you help them, they attack you and they hate you and they sabotage you. They, they, they want to harm you and destroy you. You need to stop. You need to stop helping them. But many of us won't. We're like, no, I will show them that I'm the greater person. I will show them that I am higher than they are. The lower they go, the higher we go. And you tell yourself all these foolishnesses. I will show them that he that is within me is greater than he that is without me. I will show them whose child I am. I will show them that I am powerful. I will forgive them. I will show them that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, you are showing them that you're stupid. You are showing them that you're foolish. And you are showing them that you're a knucklehead. You are showing them that you're not smart. That's what you're showing them. You're not you're not show you are not doing the Lord's work. That's not what you're doing. You're being an idiot. You're being foolish. Because the people are showing you they do not want what you are offering. They are not interested in what you're offering. But you are like, no, I will help you whether you like it or not. I will force my help down your throat. Same thing, same thing applies when you help people and they are silent. Have you ever had a situation where you're helping people, you go out of your way to help them, you inconvenience yourself to help them, but they remain silent. You get no feedback. And you're there saying, oh, maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I need to do more. Maybe they're suffering. And you sit there and you keep offering excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. But they're silent. And you inconvenienced yourself to help them. It's called foolishness. You're not smart. It's foolishness. And don't sit up there and say that God sent you to do it. God never sent you to do it. It's your ego that is sending you to do. It's your ego. You're thinking, if I do this, they will praise me. If I keep on helping them, they will like me, they will love me, they will praise me, they will respect me. No, their silence tells you all you need to know. They don't like you. They don't want you. They don't respect you. They don't value you. Their silence has already told you. And you already understand what that silence means, but you're pretending like you don't know what that silence means. Stop deceiving yourself. Stop. Stephanie says help is not by force. So, but there's some of us who we spend our time forcing help on others. And even the person we're helping doesn't say thank you. Thank you, Untouchable Ben. And you know that you're forcing help on the person. The person is there saying, I would leave this fool to keep on helping me. When she's tired, she will stop. Or when he's tired, he will stop. And you're there saying, if I keep on helping them, then they will like me, they will respect me, they will come to me, they will love me, they will cooperate with me, they will do what I want. No, they won't. You know that their silence in the face of everything you're doing for them is disrespect. They're disrespecting you openly to your face. But you are pretending as if you don't know that you're being disrespected. That's a very sad state of affairs. So there are many people on this table. There are many people on this table. They don't even say good morning to you. They don't say thank you. They never say to you, how can I help you? Sometimes they don't even acknowledge your presence. You show up in the room and they pretend like you're not there. You need to know when you're being disrespected and you need to know when to stop. Silence is a message in itself. Silence is a powerful message on its own. Silence is a message. Okay. So thank you all for coming to class. Remember, we have the spiritual reset retreat starting on December the 28th, 2 hours each day for 7 days. If you're interested in participating, send me an email. You can read the details on my website, tochi.us. Go to my events page. You can also go to drtochi.com. You'll see it on my events page. And you'll also see the other retreats that I have coming up in January. I encourage you to join these retreats because we learn in a practical way how to start embodying our spiritual authority. So it goes beyond these classes that I give. It goes beyond, discussing and talking about it. We actually practice it. We have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. All right. We're thankful to our Creator, our guardian spirits, our ancestors, and our spirit guides for today's class. We're thankful for today's forbidden fruit. May we learn the messages that are in silence. May we understand the messages that silence brings to our lives and to our consciousness. Ashe. Say, Umago, Koza, Lasedi, Nkwande, Aibobo, and how it is done is finished, is complete. Amen. Ma'at. Thank you all for coming to class. Love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you later. Oh, shucks. I forgot to mention today is Ancestor Healing Ritual. Members, today is Ancestor Healing Ritual. Oh my God, I just remembered now. 10 p.m. today, Ancestor Healing Ritual. Okay, Ancestor Healing Ritual. The information has been posted on the YouTube community page and also on Patreon. Today is Ancestor Healing Ritual, 10 p.m. CST. Okay, so go read the notification and get your materials ready. I had it in my mind. I was going to say it and I kept forgetting. All right, so Ancestor Healing Ritual is today at 10 p.m. CST. Read the post to know what to bring. Okay, got that.